Happy Monday to all. And today, guys, we had a couple days now, especially myself, to marinate into the latest news. If you haven't heard, if you're living under a rock, in the Premier League, we have a new champion, and it is a club by the name of Liverpool Football Club. This is the first ever Premier League title for this historical club. And today, guys, the thought of Liverpool winning the Premier League gives me a lot of mixed emotions, but we still have to congratulate them, and we also have to talk about them because what they accomplished this season is actually pretty spectacular, despite me being a Liverpool hater. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your boy, El Parcero Philly, the uniter of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And today, we're talking about Liverpool, champions of England. Let's get it started. Welcome everyone to my channel. Again, I'm your boy Parcero Philly, and before we get started, guys, it would mean the absolute world if you guys could like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help me grow. Here on my channel, we are all about growing the beautiful game here in my beautiful city of Philadelphia. So if you want to continue seeing me make soccer content like this, or wherever you are from, whether it is called football or football, calcio, futsal, whatever you call it, help me grow the beautiful sport here in Philadelphia. And like what we talked about, guys, today, it's about Liverpool winning the Premier League title. Now, for me, guys, Liverpool, they are, I want to say, top 5 most hated teams on my list. And listen, for me, it just stems from having negative encounters with the fan base. Now, granted, every fan base has their knuckleheads, but you know, just with Liverpool, it's just been way too many negative encounters. And 2 years ago, when Napoli and Liverpool were facing off in the Champions League group stage, it was the last day. It was the last day of group stage, and we were in a weird spot. It was a group that you saw by Napoli, Liverpool, we had PSG, and we also had Red Star Belgrade. And on the last day, we were in first place, but all we needed to do was either A, get a draw, or B, win. Easy as that. In the end, Liverpool beat us, and it is what it is. That was really a heartbreak for me, simply because I felt that in Carlo Ancelotti's first season, the way they were playing in Champions League, even though they were in a tough group, I felt really confident about the Napoli club, and they got bounced. And you know, Jurgen Klopp's squad were obviously the best team in that instance, and as we all know, they went on to win the Champions League final that season. And that moment, you know, I said that I hate Liverpool, and that to me became probably a bigger rivalry for me than Juventus. And I even decided to root for Everton. I wasn't really big in the Premier League. I rooted for Spurs at the time, but you know, there was incidents here in Philadelphia that made me not want to root for Spurs. That's probably a story for another video. But I wanted to root for Everton simply because I was more of a Serie A guy before all the racist incidents this season. And the Premier League really wasn't my top league, but obviously we all know how good it is. But back to the fact of the matter is, obviously, you know, despising Liverpool at one of its best times of its history, at least recently, it was definitely tough. You know, it's tough seeing them week in and week out, absolutely destroying their opponents. Jurgen Klopp really has created such a great squad, a power to be reckoned with. One of the best squads we've seen, not only like in this generation, but all time. You know, you're talking about the style of play that they play with, even exciting players like Mohamed Salah or a Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Alisson Becker, or Virgil van Dijk. These are quality players that are going to go down as some of the best in the history of the game. So last Thursday afternoon here in America, Liverpool was able to call themselves champions of the Premier League after a little help from Chelsea, and one of Jurgen Klopp's former star players from his youth academy, Christian Pulisic, were able to get a victory over a Manchester City squad that throughout the season, the defense has really been an Achilles heel for them. And with a win by Chelsea, that would allow Liverpool to be able to hoist their first ever Premier League title. A lot of people don't remember that, you know, the Premier League is only about 3 decades old. England switched over to this new system that we see now in the Premier League. It's been very beneficial for the game in England, but for Liverpool, they just had a run of bad luck and could not win the Premier League. Obviously, the Brendan Rodgers team, when you're talking about Luis Suarez and Steven Gerrard in the last heydays of his career, that was the closest Liverpool really got to winning Prem, but they could not get it done. After that era of Liverpool football, that's really when you saw a transformation by Liverpool, and which we would see them become one of the biggest powers in world football. So around that era, you guys remember the money that they were spending. They were still spending big money on big time players and overspending on some big time players, but it was bad investments. Like people, I just even think about like deals like Andy Carroll or Mario Balotelli. Luis Suarez was worth it. And I think they got a good profit off of him, but they still spent a lot of money to get him. And they just made signings like that just wasn't paying off in the long run. This was a team that was, essentially competing for Europe. Essentially what Arsenal is right now, that's what Liverpool was before Jurgen Klopp. And as we all know, Jurgen Klopp was making his name known in Germany, coming up with Mainz, making Mainz a staple in the first division of German soccer, and then moving on to Dortmund and bringing Dortmund back to the glory days, winning Bundesliga titles. So close to winning a Champions League with this Borussia Dortmund squad, but you've seen the development that Dortmund has gone under over the last decade, and that has a lot to do with what Jurgen Klopp instilled in those first couple of years as a manager of Borussia Dortmund. All the big time players that they have sold, whether it be Prince Aubameyang, Christian Pulisic, Ciro Immobile, Robert Lewandowski, Mats Hummels, Mario Götze, that the list goes on. This was all from the vision that Jurgen Klopp had for that club. And for a club like Liverpool that was looking for a new direction, wanted something fresh, they have tried everything. They have gone for the big time managers. They have bought the best, tried to buy some quality players. And what they did was essentially build Liverpool up, similar to how Jurgen did it with Borussia Dortmund. Making smart signings, taking risks on guys like, Philippe Coutinho, getting a young Philippe Coutinho from Inter Milan and turning him into a star player, which then became a nice profit, able to build the rest of this team. But even getting a player like a Mohamed Salah, who kind of was written off in the Premier League after his time with Chelsea. He was starting to show a bit. He started to make a name for himself again with Roma, and that's when Liverpool went and bought him. Roberto Firmino making a name for himself at Hoffenheim, getting sold on to Liverpool. Sadio Mane making a name for himself over at Southampton. Another great move, another great buy by Liverpool, and just continuously finding diamonds in the rough. Virgil van Dijk, another Southampton guy that Liverpool found. Alisson Becker is a little bit different. Liverpool were ready. They were ready to finally, win Champions Leagues and win Premier Leagues, but they needed that goalie. Kayas was not the guy. And Alisson Becker, that was the big spending that they needed, and that really made the difference. Once they got Alisson Becker, you win Champions League, you win the Premier League. Klopp and Liverpool made smart signings. All these players that you see on this team are quality players that fit the system and are going to play the way Jurgen Klopp wanted to. We all know the system that Jurgen runs. It's a high press system with trying to put pressure on the other team, and with the fast, quick-paced players that they have on that front line. The line of Firmino, Mane, and Salah, the speed, the quality, it's so hard to stop. And those guys are coming up on your face. It is tough to get by on that Liverpool squad when they have such talented players like that. In an era, in a new age of soccer, football, where you're seeing more and more money is coming into the league. More and more, this sport is gaining so much traction worldwide, and it's if it was not 10 years ago the world sport, really is now. So when you have clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, and Manchester United, clubs like that, who are going to want to spend millions and millions of dollars, then came a club like Liverpool with prestige and with history, decided to have a plan, have a straight up plan, and fall through it. They had the right guy to lead this team, this club, and they got the players that fit the new mindset that Liverpool had. And now you're seeing the benefits of how Liverpool built the squad up. And it's not over for Liverpool. You best believe that they're going to come out next season trying to win Champions League again, win the Premier League again. No, they don't have Messi. No, they don't have Ronaldo. but they have a team, a full team, and keep finding all these diamonds in the rough. Putting an emphasis on scouting and just diving deep, and just don't writing off a player just because it didn't work out somewhere else. Jurgen had a vision of what he wanted his team to look like, and each one of these players that he found, each one of these diamonds in the roughs that he found to build his team fit his system. And that's the reason why that they are at where they're at. You don't need to outspend everyone else to build a championship team. But as long as you got a philosophy and you got the players that fit it, it's gonna work out well. And next season, Liverpool are going to move on from New Balance and are moving on to Nike. And with that Nike deal, we all know how profitable Nike is going to be. Liverpool is slowly becoming the next giant in world football. They don't need a multi-billionaire owner from Qatar or Saudi Arabia or even Russia. All they're going to do, they're going to build this club the way the city of Liverpool wants it. A hardworking team that everyone writes off, but in the end, they themselves hoist the trophy. Congratulations to Liverpool and all the fans. Please, guys, I get you. You know, this is similar to like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl 2017, but still, do not vandalize the city. You don't need to vandalize the city. But again, congratulations to everyone associated with Liverpool Football Club. You guys really deserve this, and it's been an impressive team that we have seen, and I'm lucky enough to be able to witness this as well. Guys, in the comments below, if you are a Liverpool fan or if you're not, give me your thoughts on Liverpool's run right now that they're going on. They're creating somewhat of a little bit of a dynasty. We will see how much more they're going to win. But let me know in the comments below how you guys really feel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It really means the world to me. But before you move on to the next video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help your boy out. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Parcero Philly. You guys, take care. Talk to you soon.